Citation laureates are celebrated for their transformative research with impact comparable to Nobel Prize winners. Each year, Clarivate identifies these exceptional researchers through deep data-driven analysis. Their inclusion on this exclusive list highlights their influential contributions to their research fields and their potential for broader impact on our society. Many of these citation laureates go on to receive a Nobel Prize for their work. I'm Rebecca Cranbuell from Clarivate, and today we have the privilege of speaking with John M. Jumper, a leading scientist and director at Google DeepMind. John is renowned for his pivotal role in developing AlphaFold, an AI system that predicts protein structures with remarkable accuracy and has revolutionized our understanding of protein folding. John, thanks for being here with us.
Well, it's great to be here.
Now, you've made a monumental impact in the field of computational biology, most notably through your work on AlphaFold. This breakthrough has not only accelerated scientific research, but also holds immense potential for advancements in medicine, biotechnology, and many other fields. So please, can you tell me what sparks your passion in your work?
I think for me, the passion is really about kind of combining the things that I enjoy doing, that I think I'm good at, really understanding these kind of complex mathematical problems, scientific problems, but that the work also matters, that ultimately it goes out to help patients and really be able to tell the story of, well, we're going to make this tool available that's going to predict protein structures. And then a biologist is going to use this tool and is going to understand something more about disease. And then that understanding is going to be used by a drug company to make a drug. And then ultimately a patient's going to receive that. And at the end of the day, there's this chain. But at the end of the chain, someone who was sick will be healthy because of our work. And in fact, a huge number of people in aggregate. That I think what I'm also passionate about is, though we're further back from the patient, that means that we get to do this enormous range of work. And so there are so many different ways in which understanding biology better can help really advance society, can help treat the sick. And I think I'm just deeply passionate that we're able to make the work of scientists faster so that medicine can work better, so that science can work better for society.
It's amazing, very inspiring. And to be a piece of that journey, a fundamental piece of that whole patient journey is very meaningful.
Yes, very much.
Now, my next question for you is, what have you learned from some of the challenges that you've faced along the way?
You know, I think one of the biggest things we've learned is that as we try and do something that, you know, at the beginning we thought may or may not even be possible, kind of, we believe there's a reason it might be possible, but it's also, maybe it was 5 years, 10 years, 20 years too early, is that doing really, really hard things involves grinding these small series of discoveries, ideas of progress. That there's not, you know, one moment sitting in the bathtub that you say eureka and the problem goes from nothing to everything, at least not in machine learning. It's about having great ideas, but also building them as a team, building up this kind of structure and set of ideas 1% at a time. You know, maybe we're 30 points better on a 100-point scale than anything that had come before. But boy, did we get that 1 point at a time. Some great ideas, some really simple ideas, but ultimately that I think great discoveries are the product of many, many individual discoveries in the right direction. And I think really being able to do that is essential. And I wish I had realized at the beginning that there was going to be no silver bullet, no magic recipe that immediately delivers it, but many, many individual small innovations.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's something that we see with this recognition, actually, with Citation Laureate. It's about that one foundational piece and how that spreads out into so much more than that, and other people can build on what you're doing in the collaboration aspects. Very important. My next question for you is, what would you consider the real world impact of your work?
I think that our work on AlphaFold is about making biology a little bit faster. I like to say that, I think we've done a really, really transformative thing that maybe all of what's called structural biology, the type of biology that thinks about how things are arranged in space in the cell is maybe 5 or 10% faster, but that's a huge range of work. That's an enormous amount. And that's work that the rest of biologists depend on in order to understand the cell. That's the work that, pharmaceutical companies and doctors depend on to understand and treat patient disease. And so ultimately, the real world impact is that we will make people healthy. That this incremental understanding of biology and really enabling people to make many, many discoveries. And I think the moment it really hit me is there was this issue of Science, which is one of the most prestigious scientific journals in the world. And it had a special edition on these scientific discoveries made about something called the nuclear pore that controls what gets in and out of a certain part of the cell. And it had 4 papers, 3 of which were hugely based on AlphaFold, made 100 mentions of AlphaFold in this journal, and we had nothing to do with it. And that was the moment at which it wasn't just about our discovery. It was about the groundbreaking science that was being done on top of our discovery. And I think that's the moment at which we can kind of, really be the shoulders on which other researchers are standing to see further. I think that is so exciting and compelling. And you feel this tiny bit of vicarious ownership for all these discoveries that were enabled by what we did.
That's brilliant. Thank you. And my last question for you is, which qualities do you think you need to become a great researcher? And is there any advice you would offer to younger researchers who are maybe just starting out in their field?
I think that to be a really great researcher, maybe one that is underappreciated, is you need to be really clear-eyed about both success and failure and what you learn. And I find that really spectacular researchers I've worked with can look at the smallest piece of evidence and know what it really means, and know that this means this idea will work. That, this is a tiny change, but this means that this whole thing will work if we keep pursuing it. And people who really love their ideas so much, they tend to get lost in them. They tend to go and chase what is, once the evidence tells them not to do it. But the really, really great people, I think, really follow the evidence, really understand the significance of that little morsels of truth that we get as we use the scientific process to interrogate the world, and follow it really well. So I'd say one advice I would give is be really clear-eyed. What does it really mean? When are you really not going to succeed? And make sure also that you're doing research, that if you succeed, people will care. Even worse than failing at research is to do research that even if you succeeded, no one would care. And I think balancing those is really hard, but it's really, really important. It makes for a very meaningful and motivating research career, at least to me.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And just want to say thank you for joining us today. And it's clear to me that your groundbreaking work with AlphaFold is so inspiring, has opened new frontiers in science and medicine. And we really look forward to seeing the continuing impact of your research and collaboration in this space.
Oh, thank you so much.
John N. Jumper has been recognized as a Citation Laureate 2024, alongside Demis Hassabis at Google DeepMind and David Baker at the Institute for Protein Design at the University of Washington School of Medicine. If you'd like to find out more about the Citation Laureates, visit our website at clarivate.com/citation-laureates.